The women of the Gwarinpa Archdeaconry in Abuja Diocese Anglican Communion has concluded their 9th annual Women Conference held at St. Philip's Anglican Church, Gwarinpa, Abuja, with the theme, "That I May Know Him," and sub-theme, "The Fear of the Lord is the Beginning of Wisdom, and the Knowledge of the Holy One is Understanding." In her presidential charge, the Vice President, Mrs. Ijoma Okejofo, frowned at the happenings in the nation and decay in moral values as she encourages women to have absolute faith in God.
Baby mama or baby papa trend. This practice is common among people who shun marriage as ordained by God for godly children. They choose to become single parents outside marriage to raise children. It is an aberration of God's plan for family life, whereby father, mother, and children live together within the bond of marriage. We are fast approaching the general elections to be conducted in the year 2023. Political parties have concluded their primaries and announced their candidates. We call upon the general public to be law-abiding and shun acts of violence and election malpractices. Our undergraduates have been at home since February 2022 on account of strike action by their lecturers. This situation is still persisting despite many rounds of negotiations between the federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. We call upon all parties involved to relent and strip the sword. The future is at stake. Our children and the nation are in dire straits. We call upon government authorities to restore standards in our academic institutions and pay salaries of lecturers appropriately. We need, therefore, to understand that ultimate wisdom is to, 1, search for God as one would search for precious treasure to gain knowledge and understanding.
The conference was attended by priests from the Archdeaconry who came to support the women and other invited guests who graced the conference, as a featured presentation by the Zumatamata women, lecture on voter education, women's mental health and aging issues, economic empowerment tips, amongst others.
I'm here to tell us that in as much as INEC is concerned, votes are counting. And even if we feel it doesn't count before, we have every reason to believe that it's counting presently. We could see what happened in elections like Anambra, in Ekiti, and in Osun State. If you compare these 3 elections to what we used to have in the past, you'll understand that rigging is becoming harder every day.
Aging is not a disease. It's not a disease that we are growing old. Rather, it's something to be grateful for. Several problems that the elderly people face, they are several and numerous, and they generally even affect virtually all systems of the body.
In an interview, the supervisory priest of the Archdeaconry, the Venerable Andros Okejofo, and others spoke on the event.
We are hoping that the message on the theme and the sub-theme will sink into their hearts. The fact of knowing God, learning to fear God, and having wisdom that is from God. And so we encourage the women to recognize that it is not just enough to be a member of a church. It is important that as you're a member of the church, you truly search to know God.
So that is why God created us, to fear Him, to reverence Him, to honor Him, to respect Him. And I pray that all of us will be attested to this as we fear the Lord in times like this.
Doctors have been a wonderful time in His presence. We had talks
I really thank Almighty God. God did wonders. Everything were in their places. It was a successful one. From the morning till the end of it, the weather was okay. And all the people we invited, at least they came and they supported us.